Hey, if y'all want me to go back to what the industry's been saying, I'll get back to that later. But let's get to Milagro.
I wait to get home and get my motherfucking hair done. Y'all ready to get into this shit
I'm about to
and
join
talk
off.
about it? I'm ready to go change my motherfucking nose ring too. Y'all know I had to go get my nose repierced and they put that long gas when I go to the back of my damn nostril. So I'm ready to get that shit up out of here.
Come on
What's
now.
up? Hey. Um, Let me say this before we go over that. We got the black notebook. But what I want to say is, as we were leaving, the judge said that not as we were leaving, but yeah, after everything was done,
Tell her I
that
requested and
he will
everything.
allow the jury to listen to the interview that Kelsey did with the prosecution on in September, where she said all of these different things that was seemingly back up Megan Thee Stallion. Yeah, these is triple D's, baby. They are. Let's
Holy.
get into the titties. Hold on.
Oh my.
These absolutely
Oh my. Wait, hold on.
sex icon shit. Hold on.
Hold on. I don't know if y'all
These
can
some
see this chat.
sexy ass, full ass, supple ass titties. Yeah.
Oh my God.
But any motherfucking way. Um,
Jeez.
they gonna let the jury listen to the interview that Kelsey did. And what I wanna say is I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck what they do in terms of their goddamn interview. I wouldn't give a damn if they tattooed the transcript of their goddamn interview to their ass. Do you understand what I'm telling you? I don't give a fuck what they do with it, because at the end of the day, Kelsey got up there and fucked y'all whole shit up. Yes, ma'am, Miss Carol.
Here we go, chat.
She got up there and fucked y'all whole shit up. Who gives a fuck what was said in the interview? You know, y'all trying to hold on to all right. Child, shut the fuck up.
What's up,
No.
girl?
Hey, court is over with. Oh, not all the way over for
Over?
today. Let me
That's what I'm
rephrase.
talking about.
I had got a Twitter 10-hour ban, and I said they freed a real nigga. They thought Tory had walked off. Like, careful.
Wait,
I
wait.
don't
Why they
even
banned
fucking
you?
know. I'm back up there now, but I don't even fucking know. Some dumb shit, stupid shit. But I was just telling them that they're going to allow the jury. It was said, when everything was over with, they're gonna allow the jury to listen to Kelsey's interview from September with the prosecutors. They're gonna let them listen to it in full. I think it's probably like 80 minutes.
Why didn't Tory's legal team like put some objection to that, or is it possible that maybe like before trial starts, like tomorrow, they might just be like, hey, listen, judge, come on now, like playing 80 minutes of this shit. Remember, some jurors are dick riders. They might go with
Exactly.
whatever they heard
Exactly.
last.
But you know what? Once again, if they do what they came to do, which is, identify if they feel like he committed a crime, Kelsey gave that testimony, and she has repeatedly said that she lied. She has repeatedly said that she felt pressured. She absolutely has made herself unreliable. So what can we do with that at this point? So anybody that wants justice to be served at this point, I think that is fair, regardless of who you consider yourself believing, to understand that if you say that you believe 100% that Tory did it, you have to acknowledge that that's a lie. Like, come on now. After all of this shit, who can honestly say, yeah, I 100% believe that his life is on the line? This is 22 years. So after everything that's happened with this shit show, do y'all really think that he deserves to do this or go to prison for this shit when it's this fucking messy and we finding out all of this shit? Because when I say shit got trumped up today, it got trumped up today. And I know why they want to push that audio is because Kelsey got up there and blew their whole shit up. That's all they got left. The judge said we could be done with this Friday or Monday. And the defense had a huge lead today in terms of speaking to witnesses and chopping their ass up and breaking them down. The defense today, once again, like in day one, when we went through the 5 witnesses and the police officers who were using pieces of paper as placards to mark this, phantom ass blood trail, they proved again today that the LAPD is incompetent. The LAPD, then we'll get into chronological order, but the LAPD got the robbery detective 2 days ago, told him 2 days ago, Look at this Instagram post. Lil Ju made the beat, who posted this back in September of 2020. Said, y'all don't think that goofy nigga shot her? Yes, he did. Somebody commented and said, Kelsey shot Megan. And Tory Lanez account said, Kelsey didn't shoot Megan. Okay? They said, did you even try to look up the IP address or what it was posted from? Because you know celebrities have other people that post from their social media pages, right? He said, no. I didn't think it was relevant. They said, you don't think it's relevant in terms of trying to identify who may have posted that to look further? He said, was your duty to come up here and just basically say that Tory Lanez posted that? No, that's not why I'm here, but you know, I didn't think it was relevant to look. That, you know, I looked at that post, I went to his page, it was verified, and so that was it. What kind of fucking investigation is that? And they gave that to you 2 days ago? 2 damn days ago they gave that shit to you. Sloppy.
Sloppy.
Yeah, sloppy. Well, okay, so we come back from lunch. Kelsey is still on the damn stand. They said before we broke, we spoke about the DA in 2022. They said you find out about the defense theory and the gunshot residue sample that they took that night. They said, did the detective tell you that they had that and all of that? She said, yeah, I found out that I had gunshot residue on me, but I don't know when I found it out. But yeah, they said, do you remember going to the station and being swabbed and your hands getting swabbed for DNA? She said, I don't remember that. They said, did you find out what the evidence showed when you met with them? And she said, I mean, yeah, okay. They said, were you told that you would be done if you gave them that interview in September, that you would be done with this case, you wouldn't have to deal with it no more and all of that? She said, yes. They said, what was the interview done? She said, in a room. I don't know. They said, did you tell the prosecution things to be done with this case? She said, I thought I would be done with it. They said, didn't you say that you wanted to free yourself in that interview? She said, yes, I wanted to free myself, you know, and tell my truth. They said, this is defense speaking with her. They said, you wanted to free yourself from this case and free yourself from your connections with Tory, right? She said, I wanted nothing to do with this case. Then they bring up Rock Nation. Okay. Okay. They said, Megan is with Rock Nation, right? And they said, she said, yeah. They say, do you know Tory's label? She said, no. They said, but you was with Rock Nation by way of working with Megan, right? She said, yeah. They said, did you know about Rock Nation trying to sign Tory and the fact that they fell out? Objection immediately. And that was sustained so that they could not get into that. So we didn't get an answer, but absolutely. Huh? We heard
about that. Hey, a lot of people in the industry heard about that. That it was interesting when people thought that Rock Nation was going against Tory because we thought
you remember he got invited to the Rock Nation brunch. When Tory was ending and becoming an independent artist, there were many people that wanted to sign him, you know, to the label. Rock Nation was one of the places interested. So, you know, So then we go to the party now. We switch gears. And so there was like, who went to the party with you? They said EJ, and they use the word party, but once again, the gathering, whatever you want to call it. Kelsey, EJ, and Megan rode together. And they said, and you didn't see Tory come in. She said, no, I did not see Tory come in. They said, because you were drunk and you had gone to sleep, correct? Yes. They said, did Megan look drunk? She said, yeah, but all of us were drunk. And they just specified again that she was laughing obnoxiously. They said, did you see Tory flirting with Kylie? They say, yes. Kelsey said, yes. They said, did you see Megan while he was flirting with Kylie? She said, yeah. They said, how did Megan look while he was flirting with Kylie? They said, Megan looked irritated. Okay. They said, did EJ say it was time to go? And she said, yeah. They said, did you see EJ tell Megan that it was time to go? She said, I didn't see EJ tell her that, but I know I told her that. And she didn't want to leave. But I don't know why she didn't want to leave, but she didn't. They said, was EJ there when she agreed to leave? They said, yeah. They said, was EJ still there before you left? She said, yeah. They said, did y'all have y'all luggage in a room that Kylie provided for y'all in Kylie's home? She said, yes. They said, you had multiple bags in that room? They said, yeah. Kelsey said, yeah, we had multiple bags in the room. They said, who packed y'all bags in Kylie's house? EJ packed the bags in Kylie's home. They said, who put the bags in the car? Kelsey said, me and EJ put the bags in EJ's car. They said, did Megan agree to leave at that point? She said, no. at some point, she said Megan told us that we was going with Tory. So they had to move the bags from EJ's car at that point to Tory's car. Okay. She says when we got in the vehicle to leave the very first time, which means Tory did not go with them, that they left with the driver and EJ left as they left. And so she said there is absolutely no doubt that Tory stayed at the home with Kylie and that everybody left at the same time in the vehicles. They said, so anyone, and this will be Megan because that's who said it. They said, so anyone saying that EJ was gone already, so that they basically needed to ride with Tory. Anybody that said that EJ was gone already, they lied. Kelsey said yes. They said anyone saying that y'all only left once lied. She said yes. Okay. We go to Tory in the pool, Tory in the swimming pool. They say, how long was it before, once y'all left, did y'all come back to Kylie's house? She said, I don't know how long it was, but it was a short amount of time. They said, whose idea was it to go back to Kylie's house? Megan's idea. They said, why? They said, because Megan said that she had left a slipper. They said, were there any comments about Kylie and Tory in the house? Did Megan make any comments about them when she got in the car? She said Megan was in the front seat, so she didn't see her expression to know, maybe the look on her face and her reaction, and it was dark and late. But all she did say, or something she said was, he want to stay there with Kylie. That's what she said. So they go back to Kylie's home. She said Megan the only one, that wanted to go back. Then they said, did she have a slipper with her when she came back and got in the car? She said, I don't know. They said, did she come out with Tory? She said, not necessarily at the exact same time, but back to back. So if Megan came out first, then Tory came out shortly after. And so...
And let me ask you a question. Is she answering quickly? Is she unsure?
We're finally getting the yes. Okay. Okay. Yes. At this point, because it did start happening again with I don't remember shit, but we just ain't got there yet. So they said, okay, let's go to the statements. They said the time to go statement, Kylie kicked them out. And she said, yeah. And so they said, let's go to the seat arrangement. And then she outlined where everybody sat, which we already know. Tory and Kelsey sat in the back. Megan sat in the front passenger. Kelsey was right behind her. Quan was in the driver's seat. All right. They go to when they met. Go over that again. Met Tory early 2022, and they became more than friends. Kelsey said she had never seen Quan before that night, and they established that that Quan isn't even his primary security. And so they said, is it true basically that Megan wanted you to be nice to Tory and that she set y'all up? And she said yes, and it grew to something sexual. Basically, they had a sexual relationship. They said, was the argument in the car about Tory not leaving the party? Kelsey said yes. They said and then at some point, did you jump into that argument to defend Megan? She said, yes, I did, because she was my friend at the time. Okay. They said, then Tory interjects and said, well, tell her the truth then. Okay. And then they said, well, how did he say it? They said, basically, he said that they were having a relationship. And they said, how did you feel about that? She said, I was confused and I was upset. They said, did you get mad and argue with Megan? She said, yes. They said, is this why Megan wanted to be let out of the car? She said, yes. They said, did you see her sit at a bus stop? She said, yeah, I did. And that she was in her bikini. They said, who went to her and convinced her to get in the car? She said, Tory went over there to her and spoke to her. And then they got back in the vehicle after that talk, and they got in the same seats. When they got back in, they said, did y'all continue arguing? She said, yeah, we picked right back up. And I told Megan that she backdoored me. And they said, how did you feel at that time? She said, I was still upset, when she got back into the vehicle. She had backstabbed me multiple times at that point, and I was angry. And then they said, and the argument, continued after that. They said the argument leaving was about when y'all left that bus stop. So after this first stop that y'all make, they said, was that argument when y'all got back in about Megan sleeping with Tory? She said, yes. They said, was the primary argument about her backstabbing you? Is that what this argument was about in the vehicle? Kelsey said, yes. They said, were you hurt? She said, yes. And they said, and you gave a couple of names of other instances of her backstabbing you. she said yes. They said, but we're not gonna say their names. You know, before they said Ben Simmons and the baby. They said we're not gonna say no names, but isn't it true that, you know, you were hurt and that you said, yeah, you backdoored me with such and such? She said yes, and I said one name of a person that she had backdoored me with. I'm going to use, you know, my brain and take an educated guess and say that maybe the baby is the person in question. Okay, I'm inferring, but that's what I think. She said I did say one name when I told her this ain't the first time you did it. They said after the first betrayal from Megan, did y'all remain friends and did you remain her assistant? Kelsey said, yes, I did. Okay. They said the car stops and you and Megan get out? She said, yes. They said, Kelsey, this defense, was there a physical fight with Megan? Tell the truth. She said there was alcohol. I don't know. They said, I understand that, you know, there were drinks and y'all were under the influence, but did you two fight? Was there a physical altercation? Kelsey said, we probably bumped each other. That's what the girl said. She said, we probably bumped each other. And so they said, what do you mean? Y'all probably bumped each other. She said, you know, I was under the influence. I don't know. They said it was more than bumping, correct? Y'all were yelling and screaming outside of the car, correct? She said, correct. So they said you and Megan were yelling outside of the car. She said, I don't remember. They said, well, y'all still arguing when y'all got out the car. She said, I got out, you know, at the same time as her, and I was still confused. They said, you were upset and angry? She said, yes. They said, was there anything more than y'all bumping each other? She said, I don't know. I don't remember. They said, you understand that you have immunity? She said, yes. She said, was there more? He said, was there more than arguing that took place? There was an objection for asking, you know, the same question. They moved on. They said, how close were you with Megan before that night? She said, we were close, always together like sisters. I had been out there for 2 weeks before the incident, and we were living together, you know, before all of this. They said, you know, whenever we would travel, we would either make hotel arrangements or we would get an Airbnb. We always stayed together. We were really close. They said, how did you feel about being betrayed? She said, you know, I would feel how anybody felt. You know, I felt bad. I felt betrayed. They said, when you got out of the car, did you hear anybody say, dance, bitch? She said, I don't know where that came from. No. They said, did you see Megan when you got out the car? She said, I don't know. They said, did you walk to the front or the back of the car? She said, I don't recall. He said, when y'all got out and y'all bumped each other, was that at the front or the back of the vehicle? She said, I don't know if me or her were walking to the back. She said, I just remember the bump. They said, do you remember you and her walking to the back of the car? Kelsey said, yes. So if we stop even right here, how in the fuck did Kelsey and Megan, or even Megan, let's go to Megan's story. How in the fuck did Megan get out the passenger seat, hear dance bitch, walk around to the front and get shot? But now we're acknowledging that y'all last got out the vehicle, and you know why they walked to the back, to get their fucking luggage. Y'all was walking towards the back of that shit, but y'all was arguing. Y'all got out there. Y'all ain't walked to no damn back of the car. Y'all got out that motherfucking car and lined that shit up. That's what the fuck y'all did. Talk about it. Ain't nobody fucking dumb. But anyway, they said, do you remember you and her walking back of the car?
By the way, Meg also said that she never saw a bump till she seen Tory and Kelsey. She never acknowledged bumping
at all. She said she did
Kelsey
not see
herself.
Kelsey. Now this is changing. They said, did the bump happen at the back of the car? Kelsey said at first, yeah. They said, did Megan turn around and go towards the front of the car? She said, yes. They said, Kelsey, was there a fight? This is when Kelsey hesitates, and she said, I don't remember. They said since the incident and when it happened, Jilly, Megan's manager, picked you up, right? She said, yeah, Jilly was going to see Megan, and I hadn't seen Megan since then. And then she corrected herself and said, well, the last time I saw Megan was when she helped me with my living arrangements. But we still never got a date for when the fuck that happened. So then they go to September 2022. They said, were you being truthful in September 2022? Oh, no. They said is it true that you weren't being truthful in September? And she said, yes, true. I wasn't being truthful. They said, did you tell the prosecution what they wanted to hear to be done with this? She said, I told them what I wanted. I wanted to be out of this. And then they said, you lied about a lot in those transcripts. And she said, yes. They said, did you lie about who the shooter was? She said, I didn't see the shooter. All right. Now we do a redirect, and Kathy Ty is back up there. Kathy shows the message that Kelsey sent to Justin. They said, did you send this in the car? She said, yes. And they said, why? They said, she said, because I was in a panic. They said, when you were panicked, why did you blame Tory? She said, because I assumed after I heard some shots. And she said, there were only 4 people in the car, right? She said, yeah. And then they said, so you knew she had got shot, right? She said, Megan's team told me she stepped on glass. They said, Megan didn't shoot herself, right? They said, I don't think so. Kelsey said, I don't think so. They said, Jaquan wasn't in a fight, right? They said, no. They said, you didn't shoot Megan, correct? She said, no. They said, so is that why you assume that Tory did it? She said, yes. They say, were you panicked when you sent Megan pictures of this bruise? And they pull up these different photos. So all of those photos that we saw of Kelsey with injuries on her and the bald patch in her head, Megan sent that to the prosecution because Kelsey texted this to Megan. So they said, were you panicked when you sent Megan these pictures? She said, no, but I was confused. They said, you sent all these photos to Megan, right? She said, yes. They said, were you panicked? She said, no, I was confused. So they pull up some text messages that allegedly were between her and Megan. They said, do you remember these text messages to Megan? She said, I don't remember it, but I see it. And they said, you don't remember sending this to her? She said, you're showing me, but I don't recall. They said, did you send any of these to Megan? She said, I do not believe that I sent that to Megan. She said, maybe I had that conversation. She said, but I do not remember sending that to Megan. She said, Megan wasn't talking to me. So she said, I don't remember texting Megan after that. So they said, these text messages where you say that you wanted to go to the urgent care because your head was hurting and all this other shit, because that's what the messages said. The messages said that she was asking the person, should I go to urgent care? You know, my neck hurt, my chest hurt, my head hurt, you know, all this other shit. Should I go? And then she said, it brings back thoughts about me wanting to go to urgent care, but I do not remember sending that to Megan. I do not remember having that conversation with Megan that you're showing me. I don't think that these messages are between me and Megan. They said, you said that you had neck and chest pain, right? She said, yeah. All right. They said, in your back and everything was hurt, right? Kelsey said, you're trying to make me remember something I don't remember. Okay? So they move up. They said, Detective Stogner, didn't he leave you a voicemail in 2020 in August, which is the same month that Megan went live and confirmed Tory was the shooter? She said, no, I don't remember that. They said, do you remember answering the phone for him? He said who he was and you hung up in his face. She said, no. They said, you had a lawyer, and they named the lawyer. And she said, yeah. But then she said, no, the man whose name was Dominic. She said, he wasn't ever my lawyer. He was just somebody I basically consulted with. And so Kelsey said, when you reached out to me, I would forward it to him. And so they said, you weren't ready to speak back then. She said, no. They said, when we met in September, before you got subpoenaed, you knew that our interest, you knew that we were interested. That wasn't the only time that we were interested in talking to you. You knew, like, we wanted to speak to you then. And did we threaten you? She said, you guys didn't threaten me. They said, before you spoke to us, were you ordered to come back to court? Kelsey said, yes. They said, so you knew that even if you came in to speak to us, that this wouldn't be over. Like, you knew you still would have to deal with this. And she said, yes. They said, Kelsey, why did you say that you felt pressured? She said, I felt pressured because of all of the calls from you guys. She said, the knock on my door when I got subpoenaed. She said, me getting pressured on social media and all of that. She said, y'all didn't threaten me, but I absolutely felt pressured to come in and talk to you guys. They said, you said you only came to talk after learning about our defense and the finger quite possibly being pointed at you. She said, are you talking about the gunshot residue? They said, when did you learn about the gunshot residue? She said, I don't know. They said, weren't you accused? And this is the defense. Though the defense then came back to talk to her now. The defense said, weren't you accused of shooting? No, this might be prosecution. Yeah, that's not the recross. I'm so sorry. Prosecution said, weren't you accused of shooting Megan? And you said that you felt like that was a ridiculous accusation in September. She said, yeah, it was ridiculous. They said there were rumors that Megan stepped on glass, right? She said her team told me that she stepped on glass, and I believed them. They said, you've remained consistent that you didn't shoot Megan. She said, yes. They said, did you shoot Megan? She said, no. They said, you know you have immunity, right? She said, yeah. Okay. Now the defense comes up to do another recross. They said, you know that you have use immunity, and you're aware that you can still commit perjury and be prosecuted for perjury. She said, yes. They said, are you aware that a witness named you as the shooter? Objection immediately. It was sustained. I don't know why the fuck we can't hear about it, but what damn witness? And there was someone who looked to Tory. They said he even looked surprised by that. I don't know if it truly was or what the hell was going on, but I've never heard that a witness said that Kelsey is the person that shot. So I don't know what's up with that, but I would have loved to have heard more. So they moved on because he said sustained. They said, when did you find out about the gunshot residue? And she said it was way after July 2022. They said, didn't you hear about a witness? She said, yeah. They said, did my client ask you to leave? Or were you pulled out of the car by your hair? Or what happened? How did you get out the car? She said, me and Megan just got out. They said, do you recall these words? I'm taking shots at you. Bitch, I'm busting you. She said, what? They say, do you remember these lines? I'm taking shots at you. Bitch, I'm busting you. They had to pull up the lyrics on Rap Genius to read them again so that they could, you know what I'm saying, make it make sense. And so she said, yeah, I said that. They excused her at this time. They were done with Kelsey in the line of questioning. They said the judge told Kelsey, there's a very remote chance that we will call you back, but it is a possibility. Yeah, Henny shots. This is ridiculous. Oh, that's some light liquor, Casa, whatever it is. Yeah, that time of day. Casamigo. That time of day. They said, Kelsey, you know, we're done. And Kelsey.
I went through like 3 of these, no cap.
Kelsey couldn't get her ass up out of there fast enough. She was shuffling and getting up out of there. So that was it with her. That was done with her. Then they call up the next witness. This is the detective from Hollywood LAPD who is in the, he's a detective. They pull him up and they say, do you look at social media in cases? He said, yes. They said, did you look at social media in this case? He said, yes. They pull up a post from the Shade Room. The Shade Room, what they missed said, look at y'all ass. They didn't reposted what Lil Ju made the beat. Megan producer. On December 13th, he got this message. This was 2 damn days ago. So the post is from September 2020. They didn't.
Wait,
the actual post that was made was from.
I know that's. I remember that post. But when did they get this?
They gave it to the detective on December 13th. That was 2 days ago.
Huh?
More sloppy ass fucking work. More desperation. Yeah, literally. And this was the post that said, this little goofy ass nigga said that he ain't shoot Megan. You know? They said, so we're looking at the message now. We're looking at the post. And so you got Lil Ju make the beat at the top. And a user comes in and says, people say that Kelsey shot her. And Tory said, that's not true. Prosecution said, who owned that page? He said, Tory Lanez. They said, can you explain the blue check to us? They said that's a verification badge, which is supposed to mean that the page is authentic. He went over the types of people that could get a verification badge and all that bullshit. They said, how many followers does Tory have? He said 11.8 million and counting. They said, so Tory said Kelsey didn't do it? He said yes. That's when the prosecution said, okay, we're done. Defense comes up. When I tell you defense told his ass up, I shit you not. They said, I noticed that you said you got this on December 13th. That was just 2 days ago. He say, have you been on this case? He said, I assisted the primary officer, who was Detective Stogner. He said, but I wasn't, just a part of it like that all the way through, but I assisted him in the beginning. And other than that, they brought this to me on December 13th. They said, you look at celebrity and athletes accounts all the time? He said, yes. He said, do public figures have people who run their accounts? He said, yeah, you could say that. He said, are you trying to say that my client posted that on Instagram? He said, no, that's not what I'm trying to say. He said, is this the only post that you looked at? He said, yes. They said, do you know anything about Tory posting that he doesn't run his social media? He said, no. So they pulled up a screenshot from Instagram, and I don't know if you guys here are familiar with Mid Jordan, but Mid Jordan is a photographer for Tory. I don't know all of what he does, but I do know that he does that. He takes dope-ass pictures. Mid actually went on social media and said verbatim, I'm the only person with access to Tory's account. Y'all want to believe all kind of shit so bad, I'm the only one with access. They said, do you see what Mid Jordan said? He said, yes. And they said, do you see that Tory Lanez liked the post? Yes. They said, did you look into any other posts by Tory? He said, no. They said, do you know who controls Tory's accounts? No. They said, did you try to find out? No. They said, why not? They said, because I didn't think it was relevant. They say, ain't it your job to look into things and investigate? He said, yes. He said, so couldn't you have checked the IP address? He said, you know what an IP account, an IP is, right? The man said, yeah, I do know what it is. He said, so couldn't you have seen who posted that by trying to trace the location or anything? Like, did you see who posted it? Yeah, cheers. He said, no. They said, why didn't you feel that it was relevant per the...
Nah, Tory, hold on.
He going, when
Tory
I say
Lord
he ate
crazy.
his ass up, he was eating his ass up. I don't know what Armenians like to eat, but that nigga was feasting on that ass. He was. And it was going back and forth just like that. And he was giving him that energy. It wasn't even the way I'm saying it, he ain't said it like that. He was saying, why didn't you feel the need to investigate? Isn't it your job to investigate? Like, he was being short with that nigga. So he said, why didn't you feel like it was relevant per the task given? No. I'm sorry. They said, did you see who posted this? He said, no. And he said, why? The man answered and said, I didn't feel that it was relevant per the task given. They said, oh, what task were you given? He said, to see who said it. He said, no, you're supposed to tell us that he did. They said, are you neutral? He said, yeah. They said, are you trying to help detect police officer Stogner? He said, no. He said, you got this 2 days ago and you were sent here to tell us who wrote this, but you don't know who wrote it? He said, yeah. Okay. He said, I'm done. They do a redirect. They said, were you here to say that Tory wrote that? And he said, that's not why I'm here. He said, did you ask for any other messages or posts? He said, no. They said, we done with your ass. Get the fuck up off the stand. That was the damn detective's testimony about his lackluster ass performance when it came to researching what the fuck the prosecution thought was going to be another nail in the coffin. So then we pulled up Stacey Vandershaft. Stacey Vandershaft is a criminalist who focuses on trace analysis. So this is the woman they brought in as the gunshot residue expert. She stated that somebody could get gunshot residue on them if they're within at least 18 feet of the gun going off, 18 feet, or being touched and all that kind of shit like that. And then she went over in great detail, gunshot residue, how it works, what she does when she's breaking it down, and the software that they have, and a very knowledgeable woman about that. And so she went over all of that. They said, what's the furthest that you've seen particles travel? She said, studies have been done, and the max that I've read, per my knowledge, is 18 feet. They said, your work here, what did you do? She said, I examined 3 gunshot residue kits. For Kelsey, only 3. Megan was never tested. Kelsey, yeah. Kelsey, Tory, and Jaquan. They said, was Daystar Peterson's sample positive? She said, yes. They said, was Kelsey's gunshot residue report, was it positive? Yes. Yes. It was on her hands. They confirmed that Kelsey had gunshot residue on her hands. I want to tell you something. Huh? Yeah. What I want to tell you is the defense and their cross. I don't know what happened, but they had a moment to do something that just would have really, really, really set the shit off. And I don't know if they can bring her back. I don't know. When that man that is representing Tory got up there, he asked a really good question. He said, are you aware that people in your profession can count the particles and we can basically quantify who would essentially have more gunshot residue on them than someone else? She said, yes, I'm aware of that. They said, does the person who shoots the gun have more residue on them? She said, basically, yes. They said, this man said, who had more gunshot residue on them? She said, I need to refer to my notes. Can I do that? For whatever fucking reason, he went to something else and she never answered the question. We do not know who in the fuck had more. That was the opportunity to get a fucking answer. That was like the best fucking question in the world. I don't understand why he deviated from that. I don't know. You know, I'm sure there's a rhyme and a reason. But I would have let that girl look in that damn notebook like she was doing. She said, let me look. Let her look. And let her tell you who had more. The fuck? But we never got a fucking answer. Never. So they said, you took a sample from her hand. Is it possible that Kelsey could have shot that gun and that Tory ran over to try to stop her and that he could have gotten gunshot residue on him? She said, yes, that is possible. Absolutely. They said, was there any gunshot residue on Jaquan? She said, no. No. All right. They said in most cases, you know, do you get a property report that just outlines certain things? And she said, I do sometimes, for the most part, get these property reports, but I do not get to look at investigative reports and all that kind of stuff. She said, my job is to find out about this residue and the science behind it. It's not my job to look over reports and do all of that shit. And so they said, did you get one in this case? She said, no. Then we go into the cross. They said, did you talk about and go up? They talked to her about going over the reports and the analysis. They said, do you have any knowledge of blood trails? And they tried to object, but they said, no, let her answer. She said, actually, that's one of the things I was doing before I got into this. She said, I did have to do work about blood trails and stuff like that. Not extensively, but she did. And so they said the placards would show when they place them, when police place them, it would be able to outline the trail. It's supposed to show you like the path. And she said, you know, but yeah, essentially that's what it's going to show you, which he left it there. But if we go back, we never got a blood trail. Those police officers put interview cards right there on the ground and showed us one picture of blood. And they outlined the first day that they could not confirm a blood trail at all. They did not label it properly. They have no evidence of that or anything. More sloppy detective work from the LAPD. So they said, did you get a property report in this case? And she said, maybe, but for whatever reason, I did not make a copy. I didn't find it relevant or valuable to me to make a copy of it. So I don't have a copy. If I got one, then it was with the information and I, you know, sent it back the way I would do it regardless. And so they say, okay. After that, they were done asking questions from her. And he said, we done with this for the day. He said, we are more or less on track and we may be done with this, concluding this Friday or Monday.
Wow. Why so quick? I thought Tory was possibly trying to call Kylie, was trying to call Corey Gamble, was trying to call Sean Kelly, and maybe even in a weird, you know, and maybe he would testify himself.
The longest person
are they really
was Kelsey, because of the way that went. On day one, we got through 5 fucking people. So and today we got through 3. We got 4 maybe. 4. Kelsey, the detective, the lady, so maybe 3. So if they keep on pace at this point without the kind of quote unquote hostility and the not remembering shit and all that, then we could actually get through quite a bit. We start on time, finish it, get those people in, and I feel like we could be done. What else? I mean, they do their closing. What else we got to talk about? They don't have no more evidence. I mean,
well, we got to get.
We can face.
We got to get. We got to get to closing. We got to get to Tory's people, and now we got to like. I saw that Detective Stogner could be testifying, so we got to get to the detective.
Brought him in yet, but he could.
The Detective Stogner, possibly. Corey Gamble, possibly. Sean Kelly, possibly. And then here's the thing. You know, I was talking to Lawyers for Workers. He said I don't know. I got to talk to him again. Maybe his mind changed, but after yesterday, he thought that Tory should testify and just really nail this home. But I think not. But maybe he does. If he does, I can't see him. He's probably going to be up there a while.
I don't know if it's a good idea for him to get up there, but if he would be balanced and if he would speak to certain things and tell the truth about it and just be clear and concise, it could work in his favor. It could. If he got up there and said, you know, I was wrong for sleeping with those two women and doing that and bringing that up. And if he maybe, you know, went maybe that way, maybe. But I don't know if that's the best idea.
Drive the narrative back to what the defense opening was, that, hey, basically something that my client's only guilt is that, you know, he was probably not the best of man in terms of dealing with two women and being truthful, and maybe he was playing them against each other. But when it came to violence, my client was not a violent individual that night. If Tory gets up there and delivers a testimony like that, which would obviously have to hinge on what happened when he showed up at the party, what'd you see, what happened in the car, what escalated the argument, why did you, if you ever did get out the car, why did you get out the car? Why did the women get out the car? Where there's a fight? Did you try to break up the fight? Were you inciting the fight? Were you part of the fight? I think all these things are really important. And honestly, I'm going to be honest with you right now. If I'm scoring this, again, I keep saying like a boxing match, I think Tory's up too much.
It's too much doubt
to do it.
Believe what you want to believe. It's too much doubt. It wouldn't be reasonable.
It's too much doubt. Again, I went into all of this by saying this. Do people care about who really pulled the trigger, or do people care about if this is a good case? Those are two different things. We might never know who pulled the trigger, but this case is trash.
This is one of the sloppiest things I've ever seen in my fucking life. For people to supposedly have so much money and to have so much backing and to have so, like, just supposed to be these bomb-ass lawyers and all that, this was sloppy as fuck.
Hey, put it like this, and salute to Tory's lawyer. I'm probably fucking up his last name, Medeshin or whatever his name is, but hey, put it like this. If you're going to bring up somebody's social media post, especially this last minute, and by the way, it was probably not in discovery or whatever the case, but you're bringing it up now. You know what me as a defense attorney is going to know? You haven't hit Instagram with a subpoena to actually get record of, okay, when was this posted? What's the IP on it? And that's why they just shredded that detective or whoever it was. Hey, you're basically acting like somebody who's a commenter on the Shade Room or Akademiks page, and you're acting like whatever you see, you're going on face value. That don't work in a court. That's bullshit.
It does not work.
Everything. What I'm hearing, great desperation.
That's exactly what it is.
Desperation is sad.
Y'all just gave him this 2 days ago. That's last minute effort shit. And he didn't even seek out any other information. And he literally said that wasn't the task I was given.
Hey, desperation, but also I'm telling you, put it like this. I guarantee when talking about the anything that was contradictory when it came to the Gayle King interview, or maybe the live that Meg did, or even the live that Kelsey did, I'm guaranteed they didn't play that in full. If I'm Tory's lawyer, I would say, listen, why do we have to play the entire 80-minute clip of her getting talking to the prosecutors. We should find the relevance in it, and then we should play that, because y'all didn't play the whole thing where, you know, everybody's being performative before we get in court. And also for everybody, like, you know, again, you are talking to law enforcement, or, you know, you're talking to the prosecutor, or you might, maybe a detective, but you're not under oath. So again, you know, you're going off your memory. Again, as long as you're not planning and making an effort to lie to the detectives, if you didn't remember, you're not going to be charged for your statements. It's not the same thing as what could happen in a court of law when it comes to perjury, where it's like, yo, hey, if your memory is hazy, don't make it up. You know what I mean? So I'm now wondering, hey, listen, the prosecutor is desperate. They're trying to get 80 minutes of audio. So think about tomorrow when you go in. 80 minutes of audio, we got to listen to this bullshit?
Right.
Nah. Tory's lawyers got to this up a little bit. But I don't think Tory takes a stand at all. Fuck that. You don't take the stand.
You know, they'll do what they want to do, but I don't think they need.
This case,
like,
don't
fuck it up.
Has erupted. If anything, that prosecutor should be thinking like this. We lost this bitch. Well, we tight. So if anything, we're going to try to get everybody on some perjury charges because something fucked up.
Yeah.
They sent us on a dummy mission. We look stupid as the district attorney's office for LA County. What the fuck did you go in court where Meg is saying she's selective, she's not really doing what she needs? I mean, she did do enough, but again, she didn't see shit, or really, it's not even what Meg said in court, it's what Meg said out of court. Meg gave so much caveats on social media, you couldn't use her as the strongest witness. She's not an eyewitness. She's just she's a material witness and also the victim. Now you got Kelsey. Kelsey's supposed to be the eyewitness. She's supposed to be the star. Oh, I seen Tory pull a gun. I was telling him, yo, chill. Listen, after he shot her and he was walking up, I jumped in between them. He punched me in my face. Kelsey comes and says, Cap, that never happened. And if I told y'all that, y'all is because y'all were pressuring me because really, y'all want to get Tory.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about Tory.
Yeah.
Who could actually vote once this goes to the jury? Who could vote that this is 12 people that's going to say Tory guilty? What the fuck? I'm telling you, I guarantee the DA at this point is only looking for, hey, who's gonna perjure themselves.
It's over.
This is over. And by the way, at this point, do you even need Kylie?
But wait, all we finna do is I guess going to overtime and Tory gets more points. Because I mean they gonna reiterate and speak to EJ gonna come and speak to Megan's attitude. Corey can come and speak to why in the hell, you know, people got put out. So this is that's the nail in the coffin with these witnesses.
This shit is sad. This shit is sad. And unfortunately, I think the prosecutor is going to be mad at the fact that they're going to be mad at Kelsey and Tory. No, not Kelsey and Tory. Kelsey and Meg. They're going to look at Meg and say, Meg, why you ain't tell us there's this much holes? Why did you basically act like we could have probably won this shit?
Right.
And I'm pretty sure, you know, a lot of people are thinking like, you know, my man Black 100, he actually says that Meg's going to be charged. Right. No way. You look too crazy. You can't charge.
Now, what happens? Megan might not get charged, but when Tory walks away from this, because that's what I'm manifesting, let's talk about the lawsuit that should come after that. Let's talk about defamation. Let's talk about all these outlets and what they said about him. Let's talk about the bias and the prejudice.
Hey, unfortunately, I think because at the end of the day, the judge is going to still rule that no matter what happened, even if Tory is wrongly accused, Meg is still a victim. And because Meg is still a victim, I don't think that there will be nothing punitive happen to her. The only thing that will happen to her is that people will believe her less because she got up on Instagram and said, Tory shot me and I want to see that bitch ass nigga beneath the jail. So you have the court
of public opinion.
The court of social or the court of public opinion. Those people will, you know, they'll vote with their, you know, lack of support or their voice to say, hey, we're not fucking with Meg. But I'm just thinking about Meg being a victim. The DA looks crazy already. The DA's not gonna fuck with that. And by the way, if Tory brought, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think Tory's bringing any civil suits. I think if Tory brings a civil suit, it will almost look, it will look a little bit away. And unfortunately, we live in a country where a man could be accused of whatever for 2 years, and you could have your career threatened. You could have your livelihood taken away from you. And if you end up being found not guilty, you better be just happy that you're not in jail. There's no punitive action. If you sue Meg, they're going to look at you and be like, well, she's still a victim. You're still a piece of shit. You didn't do enough to protect her.
You feel like it's
I don't think nothing comes out of that.
That's an interesting perspective. Okay. I feel like he should sue the shit out of all of them. I won't give a fuck what they said. Run me my fucking money for almost 3 years of playing with my motherfucking name. They had cut out a little bit. No, I was just saying, yeah, that's an interesting perspective. But I would come after all their asses. After almost 3 years of playing on my motherfucking name, you hoes gonna give me at least $1. Hell no. I'll be right on her ass. Yeah, fuck that.
I agree.
But I can also
agree.
see the benefit in wanting to be done with this shit and just bye, bitch. I'm over it. Bye. I don't want to be associated anymore.
Hey, I agree. Listen, I think Tory has an amazing case for lost wages. It's just that, put it like this: how does it play, whether in court or how does it play in actual, society? Again, if this was Meg doing something to Tory, Meg's career wouldn't have got canceled. Tory's did. So if we're thinking that if he sues Meg or he sues Rock Nation, people are going to be rooting for him, it won't be as much people as I think that people were, again, people thought this was the issue they could hang their hat on to say, hey, we don't support black women being, hurt. And nobody does.
Right.
Even me, I don't support that. But people thought this was the quintessential case to say, yo, a black woman got hurt and we're going to make sure justice is served. Now that everybody's seeing, oh, maybe it's not as simple as we thought, everybody's backing up. You get what I mean? And unfortunately, I think if Tory does want some type of, action where he could probably get, compensated for what he's lost, they're still going to look at him and be like, well, she was hurt. And that's just the reality of society. We all got to deal with it.
You know how shit goes. I just, I think that if Kelsey would have gotten up there and said he did this to me, he did that, then I think that would have been it. If Kelsey would have said, I sent these pictures to Megan because Tory abused me, and if she would have testified the way they thought she was, I could see that fucking jury trying to convict my boy. But at this point, bitch, please. Done.
Yeah, 100%. And by the way, I do believe that I thought Tory was going to take the stand, but just because Kelsey was going to say some shit. I'm like, yo, you can't find the driver, and you got the only two people that they can find saying you did something or they believe you did something. Bro,
yeah,
you got to be fighting. Right now, shut up and laugh at the prosecutor for fumbling
this
his
is one of the
case.
biggest fumbles in history. After all of the money that has gone into the press, up like, oh yeah, protect black women with Malcolm X playing in the back and all this other bullshit. Y'all done did all of this shit to get here all this time later and not be prepared. This is some of the most ridiculous shit I've ever seen in my fucking life. And I heard that, Kathy Ty, of course this is a rumor and speculation, but I heard that she was given this case and did not even want it. That everybody is whispering about how this case was a setup from the jump and it was never solid. They said that nobody want this fucking case. I could never, confirm that, but I feel like that's fucking interesting. I can see it. They over there fighting for their lives. They're drowning.
Okay, so we're looking at tomorrow. After tomorrow, we are looking at what is it? So after tomorrow, we're looking at possibly Monday and maybe Tuesday. We could probably be at deliberation for a possible verdict.
As we were closing, said we are more or less on track with this, and we could quite possibly be concluding Friday or Monday. And I'm gonna tell you something else. I think that the general tone for Kelsey, they want to play this interview of Kelsey. I feel very, confident in the fact that they tired of her ass. I don't think anybody want to see Kelsey no damn more. After 2 days of dealing with that circus, don't nobody want to sit there and listen to that shit.
Let me ask you a question. Is Kelsey returning
done.
tomorrow, or is she
He
just
told
completely
her
dismissed?
there is a remote chance that we'll call you back. You might have to. He said, but it's a very remote chance. You are done here. Thank you. And she was dismissed and got the fuck up out of Kelsey. Cannot get up out of there fast enough. So I highly doubt that she'll come back on the stand.
Wow. Wow. Okay. This is interesting. I like this so far.
We'll see what happens tomorrow.
This. How are you feeling? How
I
are you feeling about the whole
being
thing?
On the winning team.
Hey, some people are gonna look at it and be like, well, there are people who are biased, right? And if anyone who's ever thought I was biased, or people think I'm biased now, I don't ever believe I was ever biased. I was always trying to objectively point out some facts that may not be for a slam dunk case, or may not be for a slam dunk narrative. And when I was saying these things, everybody said the only reason why you were pointing this out is because you're riding Tory's dick, or whatever the case is. And I'm like, when y'all see this case and you're seeing it in court, don't like we all, like, I get this whole believe women and whatever, and it should just be one-sided. But if you just seen a case where you guys hated anybody who dissented with anything that was opposed to whatever y'all want to believe, now this case looks so crazy. Ain't it probably a little cause for y'all that in other situations in the future, just chill the fuck out and wait to see what's up?
Absolutely.
Give it a second.
If they ain't learned nothing else from 2022, do not be Megan Thee Stallion or Amber Heard. Don't do it. Don't do it.
What do you think she's coming across like Amber Heard? I know there's no video. Amber Heard, there was full video. We watching all the sniffles, the fake cries, like, you know what I mean, the orchestrated bullshit.
I'm in the hallway, with the people there, and she was compared to Amber Heard multiple times. People compared it multiple times and said, with the sound and the crying and the, animations and the back and forth, and then comparing the fact that, damn, but I thought that this was so solid. Like, bitches came in confident, and it's been this and it's been that, only to get in there and, have a nigga looking like Johnny Depp. This shit a fucking fool. And the next black woman is going to have a harder time. The next black woman that needs justice may not get it. True. And that is the most unfortunate thing. And what black people need to do is stop. And I understand what you mean when you say a black woman says something, and then we should stand for that. When a black woman and a black man get into something, these are two people from our community. What we need to stop doing is feeling like we have to choose between our own. We need to wait and see. That's what we need to do. We don't need to immediately believe a black woman just because she's black, and we don't need to immediately believe a black man just because he's black. And a woman's voice, it should not mean more than a man's. It needs to be balanced.
I think this case is kind of helping us maybe see that. I'm a dude, so I can't see that, and obviously you're a woman, so it means more when you say it. And, obviously, for someone like me, I definitely empathize with a lot of struggles that women go through. But we are in a situation now where, like, there's so many stories and so many situations where just because one gender said something over the other gender, sometimes like, we got to look at the details of the case. It's the details of the – you get what I mean? Again, in certain situations, it might be like, yo, fuck this dude. This dude is an abuser.
Yeah. And
we got to get out of it. But in some cases, if we're seeing it's two different, it was always night and day. It was never like
that's a fact.
It was always night and day. It was night and day. And all I remember getting vilified for saying, let's wait and see. What is so bad? I used to argue in DMs with beautiful black women and be like, yo, listen, let's just wait and see. They're like, why don't you believe?
Oh man. All right, chat. Yeah. No, I think that was the hour. That was the hour right there, yo. Salute to Milagros. We're gonna get back on probably. I'm hungry as hell. All right. She's about to get back on though. I think she's probably back on already. She's live. Chat, how are y'all doing? How are y'all doing? Got to make sure my chat is good. Yo, I want to thank you to YouTube. YouTube, you guys have been 25,000 plus strong for the last 3 days. Every time. You guys are hanging in the cut. Sometimes we waiting for information. We got to talk about some bullshit. Y'all are still hanging in the cut. Oh my God. I respect you guys so much. Twitch, you guys are my heart and my soul. You guys are there and keeping it funky with me. Salute to all my lieutenants. Salute to all the chat names, man. You guys are so amazing. Without you guys, there is no me. I know some people love to just point out like it's only act, but if you think whether it's my Instagram, whether it's some of the info I do know, trust and believe you guys are amazing behind it. Let me try to rejoin Milagros real quick. I got some tacos here.
Let me tell you something.
I'm gonna send a request. I ain't gonna lie. By the way,
What I was about to say was,
my girl over here, like that's like her best thing she can make. That's good. That's a good thing. Hold on. I know we back, chat.
and I am so sorry to any woman who has never had a black man that's made her feel good. That don't have to be a nigga you fucking. That could be a brother. That could be a cousin, whoever. But stop sitting up here feeling like you need to be pitted against a fucking black man and tell a black man down and want him to go to jail. Y'all be sounding so fucking crazy to me. We supposed to fuck with our people, men and women. We wouldn't be here without niggas, and they wouldn't be here without us. And I am so sorry to any woman. So I just personally feel like, yeah, look at the facts and wait for shit to come out.
I agree.
And see what's up.
I agree. I know you probably been going through hell because they're probably looking at you like, damn, you from where Megan? Why you not fucking with her? Why you not this? Yeah. Why Tory? You a woman?
You know I'm going through bliss because I don't give a fuck about nothing they ass say. But they do sit up on the internet all day with that bullshit. And I don't give a damn. I don't give a fuck. And at the end of the day, the only thing I'm gonna take away from this is that I think I might want some dick that when the nigga stop fucking with me, that I may want that nigga to go to jail. I think I want some dick like that. That when a nigga just stop fucking with me, we get into it, that I just don't even want to see him fuck nobody else in this whole wide world. I think we deserve a Tory sex tape at this point. I want to see his dick now.
Hold on. You definitely don't want him to fuck Kylie Jenner after you. Like, no way.
It don't have to be him in particular. But I'm just trying to see something. Like, what the fuck is going on? But yeah, not to just be flipping about it, but this shit ridiculous. This shit ridiculous. Sick of over it. We need to get this verdict and shit. Get into gun of them. I want to get in the YSL and show me some more shit now.
This is crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Hey, let me tell you this. If Gunna has to take the stand, I know you're going to be there. I'm going to have to show up too.
He better not get up there and do thugging no way.
The paperwork said if he's called, he got to do it.
He got to do it. What he going to say? He going to say what he said again. YSL is a gang.
Oh my God.
We.
Jesus Christ. What do you got going on for the rest of the day?
DeLeon, I can feel it in my liver.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm on the Casamigos. I'm eating some tacos. Really, I damn near want you to take over my stream because they love you.
We have good chemistry.
Definitely. Hey, you're on my stream right now. Let me see how many people watching. We got 30,000 people watching, and plus this, so.
How do you say thank you to somebody that would even share a platform like that? I thank you so much.
It's okay. Hey, you put in the work, girl. We thank you and respect you. So, listen, whatever you want to talk about, I'm giving you the floor right now because I'm about to eat for 2 seconds. So, you want to hear and on my platform as well. Go ahead, girl.
All right, y'all tell me in the comments.
Definitely pin your Cash App. You know what I mean? They want to show you some love too.
All right, hold up. I'm finna post it. Y'all tell me in the comments what the fuck y'all want to get into. They said who was Kelsey married to. In court, Kelsey's partner was referenced as her husband. I did not look into her no marriage license and all of that. You know, so I don't know about the validity of that, but he was referenced as her husband. What else y'all want to talk about? Give it to me. Type fast. Let me see what's up. We need each other. I don't care for you. At the end of the day, Kelsey and Tory should be charged. Both have residue on them. Bitch, you got residue on your nuts. Shut the fuck up. What else? I'm letting y'all tell me because y'all know I've been at court every day. So I ain't even been seeing what the hell going on. I seen Carrie showing up fighting for her life for her position with Diddy. I don't know what the fuck for. What else? Gonna ask. Yeah, she came at you. She was mad. How y'all so mad at Megan when she got shot? That's so weird to me. It's weird to me that you think I give a fuck. That's weird to me. I'm not mad at her about a motherfucking thing. I don't know that hoe. What I'm gonna be mad at her for? I don't have no emotion towards her. Tell me, ask me, say, Millie, you like macaroni? Bitch, I'ma talk hard. Bitch, that's how I talk. That's it, that's all. I'm not mad about a motherfucking thing. I don't care. Next question. Why you mad shit ain't going how you wanted it to go? Why y'all mad Kelsey got up on that stand and do what y'all wanted her to do? Why y'all mad that y'all felt like a bitch could dog a hoe out and the hoe could get cyberbullied for almost 3 years and people could talk about her child and all that shit and she was supposed to ride for a bitch that ain't ride for her yet? Why you thought that? Why you mad that you know that nigga about to have on a player ass suit and walk up out that courtroom? Why you mad? I want to know why y'all not mad that she got up there and kept lying to y'all dumb ass. The fuck? You need to be mad, bitch. What else? Why they keep asking to play the recording of what? See, this is why I hate depending on y'all. You see how y'all give dead ass air? I don't even, if I knew what the hell was even going on outside of all of this shit, then I could give y'all a little something. But bitch, I've been in court all motherfucking day. And I'm finna go run up these streams on this Daystar album and have a listening party. So, they said we're gonna be looking for you to be in every courtroom across the country. I specialize in nigga news. The fuck? They said, what's the next case?
I ain't gonna lie. They fucking with you. We gonna need to see you a lot more. Whatever you got going on, you gotta tap them in.
I be on yeah, let's do that, do promo, because they asked to send up here just not giving me nothing. The Shade Room talking about a documentary. So for any of y'all that do not know, I do this shit every day. It don't be based on cases like this every day. But in turn, just like how academics do his shit, you know, it's different topics going on, so I do commentary. So you can go on YouTube, and all you gotta do is search Mob Radio, MOBRADIO. When it comes down to Twitch, you can find me at my name, just like it is right here on Instagram, MILAGROGRAMZ. And that's basically Monday through Friday, unless I be doing some other shit. But I try to come 5 days a week, but y'all know sometimes I'll make it 5 days a week. And Station Head, search my name, same way on Station Head. Y'all know that I'm the Station Head is Millie Head. Y'all know Station Head is the Mob app. We fuck with Station Head. I do the show with Riley. Shout out to On Site. Every Tuesday, 8-7 Central. Make sure y'all tune in. And then I do my own show once again, Monday through, actually Sunday, Sunday to Saturday, because I'm on there all the time. And so, yeah, y'all can search and we can get into it. And we'll be getting into a whole bunch of shit. So, woo. Academics, they ain't talking about shit.
Nah, they just curious. By the way, they love you. They just want to know about your life. I kid you not.
Y'all want to know about my life, child? Shit. I started this shit up. I've been the type of bitch that say what I want to say, how I want to say it, because that's just how I am. Naturally funny. So, you may have seen my name or maybe my commentary or whatever, like in the midst of stories I done broke, and you know, like going back and forth with some of these bitches. But at the end of the day, it ain't about nothing. I'm gonna keep on doing what I'm doing. Shout out to Nicki Minaj. She's a dope ass bitch. We got to talk to her 3 times this year. Go stream Super Freaky Girl. What else? What else you want to know about me, bitch? Sex icon shit. My titties are triple D. What else? What else y'all want to know? I get real open. So y'all just come listen. I be telling all kind of shit. What do you have to say about Party being embarrassed? I think that he has a right to be embarrassed, but I think that I'm gonna have to dump a nigga that can't overlook how he feeling to be there for me if that nigga gonna be there for me regardless. You can feel how you want to feel about it. That's cool. But I just thought that it would have made more sense to have Party be up there to support her. End of discussion. I think that it was a real bad look that he didn't appear, and it's not like he gonna steal the spotlight. So shit, I don't understand why he couldn't be there. As her boy, as the love of her life that she loves so much, I didn't understand why he wasn't there. And then to, you know, compound that by saying that he's embarrassed about having to hear about all this different shit and my name being attached to shit. Well, damn, is y'all about to break up? The fuck?
I thought that maybe he wasn't there because she needs to seem a little bit broken. Okay. She needs to seem like she didn't have any happiness around her. And maybe how she would react if her boyfriend was there talking about her previous situation wouldn't make it seem to the jury, well, she already moved on. She's just recounting this one thing. But if she looked like she was heartbroken and like kind of like this thing has fucked me up and giving me PTSD, looks a little bit better.
You know something else I think they should have did, and that's a really good point. I wanted them to go into I know that there are rumors. You know, people talk a lot of shit. They can say anything, but you know they do talk about Megan's drinking. I wanted to get into her behavior more. I wanted them to ask her, do you have a drinking problem? I want them to ask her, have you ever been to rehab for a drinking problem? Let's be very clear about the way that alcohol affects you. I think that would have been important as well.
I think if they got too far into it, it would be so many objections. They were clearly not trying to make the case about her personality or what she does in certain situations.
Yeah.
They wanted to make a case about really one segment in time, which I understand, but everything matters. Why was she not popular? Why was she made to be aggressive? Is she always aggressive? Is she aggressive only when she gets drunk? Is she known to be someone who would try to fight or threaten people or argue? Unfortunately, I think it wasn't in the prosecutor's narrative.
Yeah.
And the judge wasn't going to give enough time to allow for those things to be flushed out.
Yeah.
You'd have to do that while she's on the stand.
And I want to get into, before we wrap all this shit up, Megan said that, she could not walk and had physical therapy. I told you earlier that the doctor said he ain't seen no damn nerve damage. He don't know nothing about that. He removed shit, cleaned it out, and whoop the whoop. So do we have proof that she had months of physical therapy and could not walk? When did the doctor clear you for walking? And where's these physical therapy receipts? Where you had physical therapy at? Who's your physical therapist? What y'all was doing?
She might have been assigned to physical therapy, but it doesn't mean that she couldn't walk until she completed physical therapy. I'm pretty sure she probably went to like 2 or 3 sessions, realized that, hey, she could walk and she could move up normally, and she probably stopped going, just decided to heal naturally, and that wouldn't help the prosecutor.
I want to see footage. They said they took Megan from the hospital to New York. I want to see footage of her getting off the damn plane. That girl been walking, I think. They said wasn't no nerve damage. What you can't walk for? Just don't, none of that shit makes sense. It don't add up. But I'm ready to be done with this shit. I am Megan the fuck out when it comes to Megan shit. And she said her peers don't want to touch her because shit be messy. I could see that. If I was an artist, I'm going to do a motherfucking thing with her. Because at the end of the day, I put it to you like this. Your music ain't good enough to lean on. And you messy. And shit be messy around you. Bitch, you a liability. I wouldn't want to be associated with this shit.
I think she's capping about it. I don't think the majority of artists don't want to be around her. Compared to Tory, no. Like, okay, Drake said something about you. I would make the argument that has less to do with Tory, more to do with the fact that Drake is signed to Jay Prince, who has probably some significant stake in hoping that Carl Crawford and situates this thing with Megan Thee Stallion. I don't think that's the same. Oh, you're lying. I do think they're lying. I think that she's lying, but Drake is evaluating way more than that. But the majority of artists, a lot of female rappers and even male rappers, put like this: the baby didn't have a problem. The baby did a record with her. Had no problem. And it wasn't until Meg tried to strong arm him into don't clear a record for Tory. That's the only reason why there was any tension.
Yeah.
The baby, like, oh no, what? She was trying to do what people have accused other artists of. You gotta be for Tory, even if it's okay, he shot you, and you're hoping everybody in the industry, you could kind of use your relevance or your presence to force them not to work with him.
Right.
So now, people who didn't want to get into that politics, maybe they stayed away from you.
Yeah.
I don't think her career was affected much. She got all the awards.
Her career went up exponentially. It went up exponentially. Somebody said that Nancy Dillon thinks that the jury listening to the interview will help. Everybody is entitled to their opinion, and I think that that's cool if that's what she thinks. But once again, if you think that 12 people finna sit up here and say guilty without a shadow of a doubt, I think that you's a damn fool. That is my perspective. They could listen to it and 3 bitches could be like, I believe that Kelsey told the truth that time. It would not be justice. The way that this is going, y'all have
chat,
seen
my
the
connection
reports. I
better
know
what?
they didn't film it. If y'all would have saw this shit, the internet really would. If y'all could see what has happened in this courtroom, bitch, y'all, I don't know what happened with academics, but if y'all could see what happened in this motherfucking courtroom, y'all asses would feel my energy. Like, you would feel why everybody like, nah, man, let's go home. This some bullshit. This case was a circus.
Is that my
This case was a motherfucking circus.
Give me a second. Let me charge this bitch up.
So I'm just fucking over it. And you support who the fuck you want to support and do what the fuck you want to do. That's how I feel. Yeah. So, yeah, that's it. Before I get off of here, because I'm finna go to Station Head, they said when the Daystar album re-release party. I don't know. I'm gonna try to get an exclusive. Somebody asked me how Tory demeanor was. You know what? I put it to you like this. Somebody told me that when Tory came out the courtroom, he said, y'all want to go to the movies? Does that put it in perspective for you? How a nigga feeling? If that's what he said. You see when Tory come out of court, you see like a lot of teeth, right? You see his baby boy having, a good time, huh?
All right, chat. All right, man. Holy.
Okay.
Holy.